Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Trading Academy. As always, I am your host, Josh Lilquist. On the last segment, I had former CBOT trader, Chicago Board of Options trade, floor trader, and giving some insight on his thoughts and opinions on these markets. We had a nice drop this week, especially Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We had some earnings that came out, and not so good with Intel, Amazon. He gave some insight on that. But also what he sees moving forward, but the opportunities that are really showing themselves right now with possible shorting the market, but also possible going long in other type of assets. So, I want to continue that discussion on this segment. But if you miss seats for the investing class that we do locally here at the Academy, a lot of great people coming into these classes. Simply call or text the word trading to the number 952-905-0975. That's call or text the word trading. If you're driving, you might want to pull over to the number 952-905-0975. When you call or text, we'll get you a call back, and we'll make sure we get you a landing page so you can pick the date and time that works the best for you. We have these classes all over the metro area in a neighborhood near you. So also, we do appreciate our followers and subscribers on the YouTube, on the podcast. If you're on the podcast, you can simply go to Investing and Trading Live, wherever you listen to your podcast. That's Investing and Trading Live on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. I do have back my regular on the show, the one and the only Mr. Al Connickson. Al, how are you today?
Yep, I'm feeling pretty good, Josh. How about you?
I'm always good. As you can tell, I always have an energy drink in my hand.
Yeah.
Coffee is done for the day.
Yeah, I'd like to see you without having that kind of energy in you.
They say it's good for you, but I don't know who they is.
Yeah, who is this they that always has an opinion on something? Hey, by the way, though, that first segment, I'm glad that you were able to grab John and have him spend some time with you. That gives the people listening an idea of the quality and experience level of the people that we have teaching in our centers. If you're going to learn how to do anything, you want to learn from the people that are the best, people that have experience, that know not only how to do things right, but how not to do things wrong.
Yeah, and he was actually mentioning some of the main components in the financial markets, and one of the main things he said was manage your capital properly. If you can't keep it, you can't grow it.
Right. Yeah, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And we see a lot of people who have gone through periods of time where they made money, but they didn't keep it, ended up leaving. And that's all management. It's managing your assets. It's not only knowing how to prosper when the market's going up or down, but it's also managing your risk and making sure if you're wrong, you get out. Don't hold on to something. This is one of the problems people have because of the emotions we have. We try to hold on to something. In fact, it really comes down to people hold on to their losers longer than they do their winners. They cut their winners short and hold on to the losers.
Yep. So as we're getting into this next segment here, by the way, make sure to follow the YouTube. We get some flubs and some clips on the YouTube. You can just simply go to my name on YouTube.
Oh, great.
But with especially Friday, I know you have some insight and some comments on the news on Friday at 8:30 Central Time. There was the non-farm employment change.
That's right.
And the unemployment rate was on Friday, and it was in the red, we'll call it. So with the news events that are happening, obviously we know that the news doesn't drive the market, but it can really fuel the market. It's like fuel to the fire, whether it's going up or whether it's going down if it's bad news.
Yep.
Now, with some of these reports that came out and doesn't look as good, we obviously, with the market, are seeing another large drop, especially on Friday we saw. So especially at the beginning of the day. What are some of your insights on some of these news events, the catalysts you're seeing all over right now on pretty much every news channel? Oh, market is in bear territory. We're going to see a recession. So it's great entertainment out there. But what do you think are some of the main things to really focus on so you're basing your decisions off of actual price action?
Yeah, well, let me tell you what you shouldn't focus on, and that is the news that's out there and the opinions based on that news. We've gone through a switch here in sentiment. We went through a period of time for quite a while where bad news was good news. Bad news on the economy was good news because then the Fed would be more likely to cut interest rates. Now we've switched back into an area where bad news is bad news. The rate cuts are already priced into the market. We know that there's going to be a rate cut in September. What we don't know is maybe how much. We assumed a quarter of a point, or 25 basis points. Maybe it'll be 50. We don't know. But and I think what's priced in is 3 more cuts by the end of the year, which puts us in a situation where if that doesn't happen, that could have a huge negative impact on the market. But we had the non-farm payroll jobs report come out, 114,000. The estimate was for 185,000. Unemployment edged up to 4.3, highest since October 2021. Average hourly earnings increased 0.2%, actually below the figures that they were expecting. But anyways, there's news out there that is indicating that the economy is starting to struggle, and now people are concerned about that. So what do? If you are just participating with investments that benefit when the market goes up, you have seen a bad week. We had the biggest drawdown in the market on Thursday for the year so far, but Friday looks like it could even be worse. We're doing this show on Friday, so we don't know where the market's going to end up, but it started deep in red territory. So what happens to your portfolio when this happens? Well, if you've been listening to our show and have taken our advice, you were prepared. You were protected.
Although, Al, we're not giving advice, we're giving insight on the market.
We're giving some thoughts out there. No, we're not giving specific advice. What we are saying, though, is that you need to be protected, and that's part of managing your portfolio.
And that's important. I just want to make sure to comment on that because people think that the TV and the news outlets are giving advice. They're actually not giving advice. So we're not giving advice on this show. We're giving some insight so you can make an educated decision, right? And I mean, like in the podcast that I did, I believe 2 podcasts ago, I actually had talked about a supply zone on the S&P 500. It was actually just getting into a supply zone. And we actually seen it drop about a 6-1 out of there, which is exactly what I wanted to happen. But the comment I made there was, I see a great supply zone. I don't feel comfortable taking this investment because we are technically in an uptrend. So therefore, I was managing my risk. In this case, I didn't get the opportunity, but it doesn't matter because I didn't have to risk anything. So that's why it's important to make your own decisions, but also keep your risk small in any asset that you're trading.
Yeah, right. And you mentioned earlier that we had a nice drop in the market, and a lot of people are listening. What are you talking about? It's a big drop. This isn't a good thing.
It's phenomenal, actually.
It is. It's fantastic. It's exactly what we look for. If you protect your assets so you don't lose big when this happens, it's presenting all sorts of great opportunities. The problem is, and Wall Street will tell you, don't worry about the drawdowns, don't worry about the crashes, because it presents some opportunities for you to buy lower. Well, if you've lost money when the market went down, where are you going to get the money to buy when the good opportunities are there? And there's a lot of things we need to take into consideration. And also on Thursday and Friday, when we had these major drops in the market, did everybody lose money? No. Some of the Wall Street pros out there probably had their best days of the year.
Well, anybody that was shorting the market, basically.
Yeah, if you're shorting the market, if you know how to, let's say, play the downside of the market, then these are great opportunities for you. But look, if the Wall Street firms and the pros, if they're so much more successful, if they're making money when the market's going down, why don't you just do the same thing they're doing? And the reason that people don't is that they don't know what they're doing. No one is teaching you, and Wall Street doesn't want you to know. They want to keep their high conviction trading ideas to themselves. So if you could identify what Wall Street was doing, and by that I mean, when are they going to be buying, when are they going to be selling? And if they're successful in doing that, why wouldn't you want to follow them? And how do they know when to buy and when to sell? Why do they know and the public doesn't? It's because the public trades on public news, not on institutional news. And the institutions get information, they get data that the public either never gets or gets too late to do anything.
Yeah, so that is one of the main reasons why I believe a lot of great folks here in the metro area are starting to take action, Al, because they are starting to see some of that, why that's happening to people, but they're taking action to do things a little bit differently. And that's why we've been having so many great people, especially all summer, coming to these investing classes. Great people, I mean, it's amazing. Great jobs and great careers, but they want more. They want more, but they want to build legacies for their family. They want to create more for retirement. But a lot of the comments I've been hearing is create some more freedom. So that's why we have these investing classes, to see what these techniques and strategies are, why we're so happy that we've seen a big drop in the market this week, how the markets, when they go, let me rephrase that, when the markets go down, how to have a strategy designed for that. Sometimes it's a tongue twister in this office here. But I want to invite you to this investing class to help you get started on that journey. It takes to call or text. Just text or call or text the word trading to the number 952-905-0975 for 2 seats for an investing class. So Al, you mentioned a couple great things there on not listening to the news and everything, but it's all out there. I think these days people understand the news is pretty much garbage these days. But it's there for us for entertainment, but it's also giving some insight on what's happening or happened, right? So that means the news is in the past.
That's correct.
How do you utilize the markets to identify opportunities that could be happening for the future?
Yeah, you have to be able to look forward. And I think I mentioned in the last show that a hockey player doesn't skate to where the puck is. They skate to where the puck is going to go. Mm-hmm. A quarterback doesn't throw a ball to a receiver where they're standing at that particular moment. They throw it to where they're going to be.
Now that you brought it up, football is back. We had the Hall of Fame game on Thursday. Thank you for that. Clap, clap.
Yeah, great. We love football season. But what I mean by that is that you have to be able to use a strategy that shows you, with a high degree of accuracy, what's going to happen in the future. Because what you want to do is participate in what's going to happen, not what has already happened. And a lot of the things that people use, the technical indicators, for example, a lot of them are lagging indicators, and the price of what you're looking at has already actually made its move before some of those indicators tell you that they've done that. So the most important thing, things don't change. I think people sometimes say, well, it's different this time. But you know what? In the markets, in the financial markets, things don't change, and neither does human nature. But what never does change is what moves price. When price goes up, it goes up because more buyers have entered the picture. When price goes down, it goes down because more sellers. And it's not just more, it's the buyers and the sellers with enough money to move things. But as I mentioned before, Wall Street doesn't want you to know what they're doing, so they have a way of entering and exiting their trades that you don't necessarily see, but we have developed a strategy, our core strategy, investment strategy, that shows you how to identify what they're doing, and then it allows you to actually be in position to be in a trade or out of a trade before they actually do it. So you let them provide the benefit for you.
And the crazy thing about what people are seeing online is all these strategies. Yeah, I created this strategy last week and it's 100% profitable.
Right.
This is something that's been built over 27 years in the making, and they've been Trading Academy has been doing this for a long time. And it takes a lot of repetition to be able to develop that, and it's all there for people that can, that are students of the academy. But when people are coming in, they want to see how does that work actually, and know what it is before they actually get involved with it. That is why we have these investing classes, Al. We have these investing classes all across the metro area. We have these classes in Bloomington at our state-of-the-art facility here. We also have them in Wayzata, Edina, Maple Grove, Woodbury, Eau Claire, all across the whole area here to help people get started on a financial journey, whatever that goal or objective is, helping them get started. So to get started, all you got to do is call or text the word trading to the number 952-905-0975. So if you're driving, you might want to pull over. Call or text the word trading, and that's to the number 952-905-0975, and that's for 2 seats, one for you and one for a friend. Coming up next, I want to continue this discussion on the volatility that's going on with some of these stocks, but how we can get into stocks, options, futures, or Forex and maximize the efficiency of our capital. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We'll be right back.